He crouches on the ice and cuts into the seal with a curved knife. The animal is still warm. Steam rises into the -30 air. And then he eats. Not later. Not at home. Not cooked. Right there. On the ice. Raw. This is not desperation. This is not hunger that overrides judgment. This is knowledge. 4,000 years of knowledge about exactly what the human body needs in one of the coldest places on Earth. Today, we are going inside the Inuit diet, and what we find will change the way you think about everything on your plate. The Inuit are an indigenous people living across the Arctic regions of Canada, Alaska, Greenland, and Russia. Approximately 180,000 people in one of the most extreme environments on the planet. Temperatures that drop to -40, a sun that disappears for months, a land where nothing grows, no vegetables, no fruit, no grains, nothing. For most of human history, nutritionists would have said, these people should not be alive. No plants means no vitamin C. No vitamin C means scurvy. Scurvy means death. And yet, the Inuit not only survived, they thrived. For 4,000 years, without a single vegetable, without a single piece of fruit. The answer to how is in the raw meat. When you cook meat, you destroy things. Heat breaks down certain nutrients. Enzymes that aid digestion, gone. Specific forms of vitamin C, gone. Certain proteins in their most bioavailable form, changed, altered, made less useful to the body. The Inuit discovered this, not in a laboratory, not through nutritional science, through 4,000 years of paying attention to what happened to bodies that ate in different ways. They noticed that hunters who ate fresh, raw organ meat immediately after a kill were healthier, stronger, more resistant to illness than those who always waited, always cooked, always processed the food first. And so the practice became embedded, not as a ritual, not as tradition for tradition's sake, as nutrition. Precise, intentional, effective. Let us talk about vitamin C. In the Western world, we get vitamin C from fruit and vegetables, oranges, peppers, broccoli. The Arctic has none of these. For months at a time, the Inuit live in a world where not a single plant is visible anywhere. By Western nutritional logic, they should all have scurvy, bleeding gums, weakened joints, immune collapse. They do not, because raw meat, particularly raw organ meat, contains significant amounts of vitamin C. The liver of a freshly killed seal contains more vitamin C per gram than many fruits. But here is the critical part. Cooking destroys it. Not reduces it, destroys it. The Inuit who cooks his seal liver gets almost no vitamin C from it. The Inuit who eats it raw, immediately after the kill, gets everything. This single fact explains centuries of Inuit health. In a land with zero plant life, they did not know the word vitamin C. They did not know the biochemistry, but they knew that eating the liver raw and fresh kept people healthy, and so they did. But it is not only the liver. The Inuit eat raw meat across the entire animal. Muktuk, the skin and blubber of the beluga whale, eaten raw, is one of the most nutrient-dense foods ever analyzed by nutritional science. Vitamin C, vitamin D, omega, 3 fatty acids in extraordinary concentrations, iron, zinc, complete protein, in a single food that requires no cooking, no preparation, no equipment beyond a knife. The Inuit have eaten muktuk for thousands of years, not because it tastes good, though many Inuit describe it that way, but because it works. It provides exactly what a body needs to function at full capacity in -40-degree cold for an entire winter. Raw seal brain, raw caribou kidney, the eyes of the seal, eaten immediately after the hunt by the hunter who made the kill. Each of these practices, that look shocking to outsiders, has a nutritional logic refined over thousands of years of Arctic living. The eyes are rich in specific fatty acids that support vision in low light conditions. The brain provides fats that are essential for neurological function and extraordinarily difficult to obtain from any other source. In the Arctic environment, nothing is eaten randomly. Everything has a reason. The fat is perhaps the most important thing of all. In the Arctic, the human body burns an extraordinary amount of energy simply maintaining core temperature. Walking in -30 weather burns more calories than running in mild conditions. Standing still on sea ice, waiting for a seal to surface, burns more than most people burn in an entire day of normal activity. The body needs fuel, dense, immediate, efficient fuel. Dietary fat is the most calorie-dense macronutrient that exists. 9 calories per gram versus 4 for protein or carbohydrate. The Inuit do not avoid fat. They seek it. A seal with thick blubber is a better seal than a lean one. The fat tail of a caribou is eaten with appreciation. The marrow cracked from bones, consumed warm. This is not excess. This is precision. The body running in cold conditions needs fat the way a fire needs wood. Remove the wood, the fire goes out. Remove the fat from the Inuit diet, and people die. Simple, direct, true. Western nutritional science spent decades telling people that fat was dangerous, that saturated fat caused heart disease, that the solution was to eat less fat, more carbohydrates, more plant foods. During this same period, researchers who studied the traditional Inuit found something deeply inconvenient. A population eating almost exclusively fat and protein, almost zero carbohydrates, almost zero plant food, and almost zero cardiovascular disease. This was not a small study. This was a population across a vast geographic territory, observed over decades. The data was clear. The Inuit on their traditional diet had hearts that functioned at a level that researchers struggled to explain within the framework they had been taught. The explanation was in the fat, not any fat. The specific fat from wild Arctic animals, omega-3 fatty acids in concentrations that reduce inflammation, support cardiovascular function, and protect the heart in ways that the vegetable oils, promoted as healthy alternatives, simply cannot replicate. Wild seal fat, wild whale blubber, wild caribou fat, from animals that ate wild food in wild conditions for their entire lives. This is nutritionally different from the fat of factory-farmed animals, fed corn and soy in confined spaces for the profit margin of a corporation. The Inuit were not eating bad fat. They were eating the best fat on earth, raw, fresh. Immediately after the kill, But something changed. As Western food systems reached into Arctic communities, processed food arrived. Sugar, flour, refined oils, canned food from thousands of miles away, and with it, the diseases that had never existed in traditional Inuit communities. Type 2 diabetes, obesity, tooth decay, cardiovascular disease, not from the raw meat, not from the seal fat, from the sugar, from the flour, from the processed food that replaced a 4,000-year-old nutritional system. Within a single generation, the Inuit who ate raw seal liver for breakfast and were healthy are the same people whose grandchildren eat processed cereal and develop diabetes by 40. The food changed. The bodies responded, not to the traditional food, to the new food. This is perhaps the most important lesson in the entire story of the Inuit diet. The problem was never the raw meat. The problem was everything that replaced it. Today, in many Arctic communities, there is a movement back toward traditional food. Elders teaching young people how to process a seal correctly, how to identify the organs worth eating immediately, how to prepare muktuk, how to read the animal the way their grandparents read it before the supermarket arrived, not as nostalgia, not as cultural performance, as medicine, as the most effective nutritional system ever developed for the human body. In Arctic conditions, young Inuit people who return to traditional food report changes in energy, in mental clarity, in the feeling of their body in cold weather that they describe as feeling like themselves again, not a different self, their actual self, the self that 4,000 years of Arctic living built this body to be. The Inuit hunter who crouches on the ice and eats raw liver in -30 cold is not being primitive. He is not ignoring hygiene. He is not acting from desperation. He is performing one of the most nutritionally sophisticated acts in human dietary history. He is giving his body exactly what it needs, in the most bioavailable form possible, at the moment of maximum freshness, with zero nutrient loss to heat. He learned this from his father, who learned it from his father, who learned it from his father, all the way back 4,000 years, to the first person who noticed that eating the liver raw kept people alive through winters that killed everything else. Maybe the question is not, why do the Inuit eat raw meat? Maybe the question is, why did the rest of us decide that we knew better? If this way of life speaks to something in you, if you have ever looked at your food and wondered what it used to be, subscribe to Hidden Ways of Living. Every week, we go deeper. The Mongolian nomads, the Maasai warriors, the Bedouin wanderers, the Amish, and now the Inuit. They are still out there, and their stories are waiting for you.